Hey YouTube, welcome to Dragon's Dojo Gaming. Andrew Sellers here. I just want to let you all know I humbly apologize for making my first video in a month. Life's been happening to me. For the time I wasn't making videos, I was only working part-time somewhere close to my house and really tried getting a full-time job, which I finally managed to get a few weeks ago. Thank and praise the Lord I finally have. And now that my mind's in a much clearer state than it was before I managed to get myself a new full-time job, I'm ready to go back to making videos. And for those of you that aren't aware, I sent a message to TCG Player a while back about wanting to sell cards online for Dragon's Dojo Gaming to make an online business for my shop, but they haven't responded to me. I don't know if it naturally takes this long for TCG Player to get back to people about things, but to make up for taking a while, I'm gonna be making videos for the next 2 days after this, I'll just do what I can to make videos. Anyways, on to my deck profile for V-Series Luard. And as you can see, I have signed markers for Ren and Kai from the Vanguard anime, which both look nice. Starting off, we have our starter, Promising Knight David. You can use any V-Series starter you want, but I chose David because I like his art. First up, for grade zeros, we have 4 draw PGs. Self-explanatory, I run a playset of this in the deck. Next up, 8 critical triggers. I run a playset of Grim Revenger because I like his art the most out of these 3. I run 2 of her because she looks cute. And I actually have a personal recommendation for using Death Feather Eagle. This guy brings miracles in games. I have hit him as a defensive trigger on so many times that saved me. There were a pretty good amount of times where I drove check him at times that were good, but usually he has been great on defensive pulls. Such a great, he is a really nice good fortune card. I highly recommend using it at least 1 copy in the deck, and it will bring you good luck. Next up, for grade 1s, 3 Lilials. I ran her at 4 at one point, but I felt like 4 was a little crummy and not spaceful enough. So I'm running her at 3 solely for space. But she's undoubtedly a really strong rearguard to have. When you have 5 grade 1s on board, which is easy to set up, she gets plus 15k. Which basically makes it to where she gets that much power for free. I did something to fuck up, but it's no big deal. Next up, 3 Abyssal Owls. I accidentally dropped this one in the water, but since it's double sleeved, it's not really a big deal. But yeah, I run 4 Death Feather in the deck because I run 3 Abyssal Owl in the deck because it's a solid draw card. If you call it while your opponent's on the If you call it while your opponent's grade level is the same as your Vanguard's grade level, you Soul Blast to draw a card. Otherwise, you just Counter Blast to draw a card. Next up, 2 copies of the best first ride in the deck. 2 copies of Nice. He's really just there for the first ride. He's not really too great of a rear guard. I mean, it can come in handy for retiring stuff, but its second skill is situational. Like I said, it's really just there as a first ride unit for getting Drag Card or Morfessa. 2 Branwyn. Most builds I see run her at 3 or 4, but I run her at 2 for space. She's definitely a good 13k booster. Not as good of a booster as Lilial's in my opinion, but she's a good card in the deck. And a good first ride too. Next up, 2 Charon. Obviously she's there as a countercharger. 2 Nightmare Painter. Solely, Nightmare Painter is in the deck for sending Ildana from the drop zone to the soul so that Drag Driver can get his 2 critical skill faster. When you have 2 or more grade 3s in soul, all grade 1s in your front row get an additional crit. Next up, 1 copy of an absolute must in the deck, the Cramps. The Cramps gives every grade 1 in your front row intercept. He's such a good card. And if your opponent were to decide to retire it, you can just shuffle it back in your deck and call it with Drag Driver's skill. Oh, you retired him? Superior Ride Drag Driver? Call him back out. Hi! He's a really nice card in the deck. Next up, for grade 2s, for Morfessa. As you all know, Morfessa is treated as a grade 1 in the deck or the rearguard circle. She is treated as a grade 2 otherwise. Absolute mandatory card in the deck. She's a great multi-attacking unit, and yeah, she's just a really good multi-attacking unit to have in the deck. And if you ride her, you can Soul Blast her and shuffle her back in the deck with Drag Strider's skill. I mean Drag Driver. Next up, 3 Leaflow. I run him at 3 because I feel like more space gets taken up with him as a playset, since the deck is more grade 1 based than it is grade 2 based. I think 3 and 4 are both good numbers in the deck, but I solely prefer to play them at 3 for space. And because you can search them with Nisa's skill. And finally, for grade 3s, 4 copies of my ace card in this deck. 4 Dragheart Luard. He's the biggest reason the deck's what it is. His skill says choose 2 units. One of his skills is retire 2 grade 1 rear guards. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. And its other skill is Counterblast 3. It can be the counterblasts get reduced depending on the amount of grade 1s you have in your drop zone. And you choose 2 normal units from your drop zone, send them to the bottom of the deck, and then Superior Ride Drag Driver from the deck. And then at the end of the turn, you Superior Ride Drag Cart from the soul on top of Drag Driver. Very nice card. And now for the boss unit of the deck, 4 Drag Driver. Some builds I see play it at 3, but I think it's a must-have it. But I personally think it's a must-have at 4. card's insane. He gets plus 5,000 power for each of your grade 1 rear guards. If you have as I've said earlier, if you have 2 or more grade 3s in soul, he gets a crit. That's one of the things that Nightmare Painter and Eldana are there for. He's just a really, really powerful card. Next up, 4 grade 3 heal. Self-explanatory why he's in the deck. And finally, 3 copies of Eldana. Thanks to Eldana, he's treated as a grade 1 when in deck or drop. And his other skill is, if your Vanguard's on grade 1, you can reveal it from your hand, ditch it, meaning discard, then check the top 7 for a grade 2 or higher unit and add it to your hand. He can help you add he can help you add Leaflel, he can help you add Draghard or another Eldana. Well, not another Eldana. He can search for Drag Driver if necessary. Oh, one of the nice things about Brenwyn is that you can use her to discard Drag Driver if you end up searching it. And that's if it's necessary to do so. So that is it for my Luard deck profile. I hope you all liked it. I also hope that you all enjoyed this video. Again, I sincerely apologize for being gone for a while. So please like and subscribe for more content. I promise I will be more consistent with delivering more content. And I'll see you all later.